Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Tom, welcome back to the channel. All right, y'all, today's video, I don't know if any of y'all heard about this plastic fire in Indiana. You know, and if y'all have heard anything about the East Palestine debacle that's still unfolding as we speak, as they ship all this polluted water all over the country and want to inject it deep into the soil. This is another dioxin fire. It's another plastic fire that's pumped, you know, tons and tons of dioxins into the atmosphere and into the waterways. And I haven't heard anybody talk about it. This happened back on April 12th. And I've been looking for updates. There haven't been any, there was only on the 13th. This is from ABC News. Recycling plant fire fully extinguished, because originally when it caught fire, it burned for several days and 13.5 acres burned, and they weren't sure if and when they would be able to put it out. But according to ABC, they put it out on April 13th. The local mayor, recycling plant fire fully extinguished, evacuation order still underway, Indiana officials say. And to today, I still don't see, the last I read here is they're still taking samples and there hasn't been a return to normal policy just yet. The local mayor called the incident a worst case scenario. A large fire at an Indiana recycling plant is now fully extinguished, officials said Thursday, while an evacuation order for more than 2,000 residents remains in place. The fire had been fully extinguished ahead of schedule, Richmond Mayor Dave Snow tweeted. We're now able to turn our attention to collecting air and water samples to determine when the evacuation order can be lifted. And for all y'all waiting for those air and water samples, I just want to remind you of Christy Todd Whitman and the EPA and New York City, all that good stuff. When they said, oh yeah, and you know, remember all the firemen that got cancer and all that stuff. Oh yeah, sure, everything's great. Yeah, you can move back into New York City. That didn't turn out too well. But any resident within, and not only did it not turn out well, they stiffed everybody and let them die of cancer and didn't provide them with funding and didn't help them at all either. So any resident within a half-mile radius of the plant in Richmond, Indiana was ordered to evacuate due to the large industrial fire on Tuesday afternoon. Local officials said. The evacuation zone impacts approximately 2,011 residents, according to a representative from the Wayne County Emergency Management Office. These things, you know, obviously have to happen in rural areas because they have all the densely populated areas on lockdown. They're already stacked and tracked and packed and all that stuff. So, you know, the next step would be to pollute all the rural areas and pollute the air and pollute the soil and pollute the water. Anyone downwind of the incident should shelter in place. Yeah, because when you shelter in place, it magically purifies the air. The officials on Thursday set up transportation for residents to quickly go back to their homes to get medication or any other needs. Those who go to their residence will be escorted by law enforcement, have to wear an N95 mask, and will only have a short amount of time to enter, according to Snow. The smoke is definitely toxic. Indiana State Fire Marshal Stephen Jones had previously told reporters during the press briefing, "We don't want the residents in the smoke. As the wind changes, we may change the direction of the evacuations." A firefighter who responded to the scene injured his ankle after he fell down a ravine, according to Richmond Fire Chief. He was treated at a local hospital and has since been released. The second firefighter was also injured Wednesday night while they were assisting and was overcome by heat. The firefighter was treated and released. The fire was reported sometime after 2 p.m. local time Tuesday and has since been contained. The fire is expected to burn for several days. He also confirmed that they are conducting air monitoring. Yeah, we appreciate y'all, and this is a value for value proposition. If you like the kind of content we put out, the information we give you, please go over to TheTexasBoys.com. Check out our awesome products. Thanks to all of our customers. There's been lots of honey sales and CBD and Lion's Mane coffee sales. We appreciate y'all. Lots of Texas native mud sales. Thank you very much. And we love y'all. We appreciate your patronage. The plant, located near the Indiana-Ohio border, is owned in part by the city of Richmond and in part by a private citizen. He has been warned several times, the city fire chief told reporters Tuesday. We have an unsafe citation that was issued to him. We don't know exactly when that was, but we were aware of the situation and we are dealing with the situation. At a press conference Wednesday, Mayor Snow was adamant that the business owner will be held accountable. The building is the former Hofco Kama Industries plant, which produced lawn and garden products for 60 years before closing in 2009. According to the situation report from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. The facility now processes recyclables, including plastics, according to Jones. There's a host of different chemicals plastics gives off when they're on fire, so it's concerning. Yeah, the main component that plastics gives off when they are burning is dioxins, and we have learned quite a bit from East Palestine, which surprisingly enough is in Ohio. So Ohio's just taking it on the chin right now. Brown said the property is about 14 acres and there is plastic everywhere. There are piles of plastic both inside and outside the buildings and semi-trailers filled with plastic. When asked how much is estimated to have burned, Brown said he estimates about 13.5 acres of the property have burned during a telephone interview. And if you know anything about burning plastics, and if you've ever seen any landfills that have caught on fire with lots of plastics in there, that fire can be so intense and immense underground, and that fire will just travel underground and pop back up. It's pretty wild. Plastics are bad news, especially when they're burning. And they release like dioxins into the environment. During a telephone interview with ABC News on Tuesday, Snow now called the fire a worst case scenario and voiced concern for the air quality in the city, which is home to more than 35,000 people. This is something we never wanted to see happen. We want everyone to limit their exposure to the black smoke and stay far away from the area. Not only is it a dangerous area right now, limiting your exposure to the black smoke is the best thing for your health. A community helpline will be established and Richmond community schools were closed Wednesday. Jason Sewell of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency told ABC News Thursday that samples have tested positive for, chrysotile asbestos. Wow. The agency is urging residents who may have debris in their front yards to not mow the grass over fears asbestos in the debris may get kicked up into the air. EPA Administrator Michael Reagan told reporters that the agency was on the ground in Richmond within hours. Wow, if they could have done that in East Palestine, that would have been nice. The EPA team is on the ground and will collect debris samples in surrounding communities to determine whether asbestos-containing materials may have been left at the site. Richmond resident Aaron Stevens told ABC News that he saw a huge pillar of smoke and heard explosions and pops from his home located roughly half a mile from the plant. There is an odor, a burning odor. What is more disheartening is the fact that I'm hearing explosions and pops this far away. Stevens' home is located within the evacuation zone, though he said he has opted not to leave because he is hobbled by a knee injury. Police officers and school board members said he has a plan if he gets another evacuation alert. If it gets to the point where I realize that this is really going to be unsafe, I'm within just a minute or two away from having someone come and get me. Richmond resident Brad Walton described what smelled like burning tires from his home. It's just not a good smell, Walton told ABC News, adding that he could see the smoke plume in Hamilton, Ohio, roughly 35 miles away. So once again, we have cow farts exploding and destroying 18,000 cows and somehow only hurting one individual. Chemical rail cars being detonated and releasing dioxins. Now we have some mysterious fire that's still undetermined. There's still no cause of what started this thing back on April 12th. And it's clown world and it's crazy, the stuff that's going on, and there's never any explanation for it. And you can only assume that it's just an attack on humanity, an attack against God's creation, and just the desire to pollute absolutely everything normal and natural and good. It's very sad. And it's just incredible. And have any of y'all even heard about this? It goes completely underreported or ignored, and it's just kind of incredible. So I wanted to bring this to your attention, and let me know, comment down below or send us an email if you have any kind of update on this. That would be great, because I've looked and looked, and that's the other problem with trying to do research online, is they're curating online and they're controlling the dispersion of data online. So, you kind of got to use what you can find, and so that's where we're at. But yeah, we appreciate y'all, and this is a value for value proposition. If you like the kind of content we put out, the information we give you, please go over to TheTexasBoys.com, check out our awesome products. Thanks to all of our customers. There's been lots of honey sales and CBD and Lion's Mane coffee sales. We appreciate y'all. Lots of Texas native mud sales. Thank you very much. And we love y'all. We appreciate your patronage, and we will see y'all in the next video. Bye.